Hello and welcome to a new tutorial for Sonic Sorcery. I'm Steffen Ki, your Sonic Sorcerer, and I promised you that I would do a video showing you in the chakra template how we can actually transition from one chakra to the other during a live performance. And now is finally the moment for this video. So now we are here in the chakra template. I'm in Ableton 11. We can listen to a sequence that is playing right now. So we have a couple of sounds going on, like the Tibetan bowls and the healing frequencies of the earth, day, and the instruments like a drum and the flute, and one pad, one drone, and jungle ambience, right? So this is playing right now. We are in the root chakra, so the tempo is 91 BPM, as you can see here. And the idea is now we want to go from the root chakra to the sacral chakra. We want to make a transition during the performance without stopping the whole performance. So we need to find a way to make it kind of seamless. So my approach would be to generally take out sounds starting from the high frequencies to the low frequencies. So at some point we just left with the drone maybe and some ambient sounds. And then the challenging part is also we have to change the tempo for the next chakra coming in, because it has to be in a different tempo for the sounds to sound correct. So there's like 3 things that I encourage you to use, or that work really well for me. The first thing is working with the sense here, right? Because of course you could just take sounds out, I could just, slow the drum down. That would be like really easy. Right now I'm doing it with a mouse, but usually I would do it with a push. Of course you can do it with any MIDI controller of your choice, right? So I go down. So now the drum is gone. But that's also a bit boring. I mean, that's classical and it works, but if you want it more like interesting, you can work with the sense. And if you don't see the sense, just make sure that you enable them here. And then those dials pop up. And also if you want to check which is which, you can see if you press R here, then the return channels will appear and it shows you A is a small room, B is a cathedral reverb, so a big reverb, C is a filter delay, and D is a simple chorus to make sounds wider, like more broader in the stereo image. So what we can do now, for instance, with the drum is we can increase the reverb and the delay and then let it fade out. And this will be way more interesting and elegant. And also you're kind of making an indication that something's gonna happen, right? We increase the reverb. Maybe also the chorus, make it a bit broader. See, and this was like a lot more elegant now, because there was still the delay and the drum was still fading. And we could do the same with the flute. So let's increase the reverb and the delay. Maybe that's a bit too much of the delay. Sounds a bit too overloaded. Right, so this is one way to just have the delay fading out the sound a little more, so it's not like creating this instant gap. And another way that is really cool that I would like to show you is an effect that is within Ableton actually. So let's dial that all back in again. So now we go to the flute. This is the flute channel. And now if we go here to audio effects in the browser, and then we go to let me see, where is that in 11? Usually I'm working in 10. Ah yeah, utilities, and then you go to audio effect rack, and there you have performance and DJ. And there's one preset, and that's called knob 1 fade to gray, and that is really awesome, and you can put it like really at the beginning of everything. And the cool thing is, what it's doing is it's like the perfect transition effect, you know, because if you look under the hood, what's going on here, we have a delay and an EQ and this macro knob. And this macro knob is doing a couple of things at the same time. You can see as I move it, you know, like up to 5 parameters are moving, or 4 parameters. And you can already hear, right, what it did to the flute. So what you can do is you can always use fade to gray to create like a nice filtering delay effect on any instrument or any part of the journey. See, now I'm increasing the fade knob, and you see how the flute is slowly getting into the background very elegantly. And you could do it also slower, right? You could like play from the beginning and then slowly increase it, like really gentle. Right? And now it's just like fading out, and I can stop the clip here. But because the feedback is so high of the delay, you still hear it going, right? And this way, it's a really elegant way to fade things out. And now if I turn it back, then you will see the feedback will die out, and then the sound will be gone. And you can do it on anything. Let's try it on the drum. So now I'm putting it in front of the drum. I'm on the drum channel, right? Or like, let's say the instrument 1 channel, in this case the drum is playing, and now I'm increasing the fade, right? Super elegant. So I would highlight, or like I would highly suggest you to put that fade effect on each channel, like each instrument, each pad. Very elegant. So now we have faded that out. And now all the higher frequencies are gone except the Tibetan bowls. So like here, let's increase the delay and the reverb, and then let's wait until they hit one more time. Oh, that takes some time. How's it going here? Right, so this is already faded out. This one still takes some time. So when it's re-triggering the next time, like here, I'm gonna turn it off. Actually it was a really low frequency. So in this case, it didn't work so well. You didn't hear like the initial attack so much like in this bowl, because it's a bigger bowl here. So in this case, we just slowly classically bring the volume down. So all that we're left with right now are those frequencies, the pad here, the drone, and the ambience. So now let's get rid of the pad as well. Again, let's use fade to gray just to show you that it's working on everything, even pads. Right, and now you can hear the filtering effect, and you can make it like musical, so when the chord ends. So now it's faded out. pad is gone as well. Now we just have the drone. So the thing is, they are not in the same key, right? So we don't want to have musical overlaps. Now the drone is still going. And before I take out the drone, I'm using another trick, which is my Shamanic FX Rack, which you can get also on my website. And I made a video about it that you can watch. But basically what I like to use is I like to use transition sounds from this effect rack here, for instance, the rainmaker. And now there's something going on and I can turn off the drone slightly. Right, now we still have the planetary frequencies. Let's put on another rainmaker. And let's turn already on another ambience from the next chakra. So this will not create like this harmonious sensation, because nature is always harmonious. So now we have the water, right? And now if you wanted to, you have still like the frequency playing. So maybe let's bring in, so now first we have to change the tempo, right? And this is tricky right now, and this is another trick that we need to do that I'm going to show you. In order to get the tempo, I could type it in here, right? I could go like now from 91 and I could type in, what is the tempo here? 98.63. So I click on this, 98.63. This is one way to have it not stop. And then let's just put on this frequency. That was a bit abrupt. Shouldn't be doing this like this, but now we're at least in the right tempo. But another option would be to using this Scene Lounge play button here. And if I click on that one, it will change to the tempo. See, but what happened, everything stopped. And this is what we definitely don't want. And it is happening because if you play here, it's triggering all the clip slots at the same time that are in this one scene. And there's a lot of them, and they have all stop buttons, right? So what we want to do is we want to remove the stop button. So we click on a clip slot, highlight it, and then we right click, and then we go remove stop button. See, and now the stop button is gone and the water is playing. And if I now switch to the tempo, you see everything is stopping. Let's say the jungle ambience is playing at the same time. Here you see the stop button. Here there is no stop button. So jungle ambient stops, but the water is still going. And we want to get rid of all the stop buttons. So you can just go and highlight them with shift click. And then remove stop button. So now all the stop buttons are gone. So now if I want to transition, let's say from one tempo to the other, let's say we play, here are the stop buttons on top also. We need to get rid of them as well. So let's highlight them. Remove the stop buttons. So now, and they're still here. You know, now I can already change the tempo. See, but it's not stopping to play, so that's really important. That you need to do that basically with all the stop buttons here. Right, highlight them and remove them, and for all the chakras. So this way we can have like a smooth transition again, and we can change the tempo, which is really important for the sounds to sound similar. I mean, you know, in this case it's not such a big difference. It's a difference of like 7 BPM, so that won't affect the sound too much when you warp it and change the tempo. But then the next step is a bit higher. It's like almost like 20 BPM, and there you'll definitely hear the difference if you don't adjust the tempo first. So let me demonstrate one more time. We go back to the root chakra. So we select 91. We play like a drone, soundscapes, pad. And the frequencies. And first we go slowly down with the frequencies. So we fade them out on the master fader of the group. And now, interestingly enough, in the pad there's already a rainmaker, which is kind of practical because now we can actually trigger another rainmaker and then have the pad fade out slowly. Maybe add another one. Right? So now you still have the nature sounds going, and you can add some wood percussions. You know, in general, I just recommend you to work with transition sounds to fill the space in between. And then the first thing, we change the tempo here. Now it's not stopping to play because we remove the stop buttons. And then we go to the frequencies and bring in now the planetary frequencies. So this is how I would introduce the chakra first. By the actual frequency. So people also feel and realize, okay, so this is the new chakra, a new frequency is coming in. And then again, you can play the sound, the water, and then go to the water drops. And bring in the new drone. And so on and so forth. Now we go choose an instrument. And the bowl maybe. Right, so this is just an example. So to make it more fun and make it more seamless in your transitions, should you use the template for live performance or live sound journeys. And I hope this was helpful. So to summarize again, use the sends and returns in order to make the transitions more interesting by adding reverb and delay. And then stopping the clips so that it will still reverberate or still echo. In addition to that, use the amazing fade to gray effect, which is awesome to make transitions because it's the Swiss Army knife of transitions. You can also use it for DJing. And it's so easy and so effective, so I highly recommend it to put it on the channels. And then remove the stop buttons, really important. Basically in between, right? So on the scene that has the new chakra and the tempo, there you need to remove the stop buttons. And you can shift click and select them all and then remove it. And this way the clips won't stop when you change the tempo. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoy the template, and right now I'm working on expansions for the sounds. So like if you feel like, okay, yeah, I love the template, but I would love to have more sounds, it's coming. So there will be a lot of sounds, new sounds for each chakra. And there will also new chakra templates be coming with different approaches. This is the planetary frequency approach, but then there's also the carrier wave approach, the chakras on the C major scale based in 432 Hertz, and also the chakras based on the platonic solids. So those are all things that I'm working on creating at the moment, and yeah, keep watching and stay connected to find out when those things will be out. But yeah, for now, I hope you can get more use out of the template by performing and making the performance transitions more seamless. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye. Let's put it on the master. Fade to gray, such a cool effect. Even on the master it works well. Goodbye.